With 3 relationship experts on hand, we ask, is it possible to find love on a reality show?
I'm Dr. Ava Cadell. I'm founder and president of Loveology University.
I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. I have a PhD in psychology, and I'm the author of The Boyfriend Test and The Girlfriend Test.
I'm Dr. Don Ipkiss. I'm a UCLA-trained sex therapist and a licensed marriage and family therapist, and also the creator of Sexesteem.com. I think in some ways you have to look at reality TV as going on a cruise ship. You're going to get on there, meet some beautiful people, possibly have some relationships, but sooner or later the voyage ends.
It's bizarre. This is my life. This is all I've known for the last 3 months.
Ultimately, it's up to those couples to determine really if love is there.
Just like all relationships, a successful showmance depends on the individuals involved and a few key factors.
There are specific ingredients that you need for a consistently successful relationship. If you don't have all 5, it's not gonna last. Friendship. Your partner has to be your best friend. Respect. If you don't respect the person as they are right now, it's not gonna last. Trust. You must trust them implicitly. Communication. You've got to be able to talk about your feelings, your wants, your desires, your fears. And then passion. Sex is important to a relationship. How important? Well, let's say if you were making a chocolate cake, it would be the chocolate in the cake.
What could be better than passion and chocolate cake? Well, perhaps this competitive duo topping our list. Number 25 on the countdown were coupled during Big Brother All-Stars, where these guys formed an unlikely alliance that had viewers hooked.
Whenever you throw people together, you can wind up having people who identify with each other, who normally on the street would not necessarily be with each other.
With Big Brother All-Stars, Erica and Mike formed more than just an alliance.
Mike's the consummate bad boy.
I think Erica was an extremely tough competitor.
I'm on the rebound. I don't know, it just happened.
Mike and Erica are a prime example of how these relationship shows can be so artificial. Their love was never real. He used her, she manipulated, it was all a ploy, and it was all about strategy.
Oh God, I needed to get out my boogie.
Fortunately, she did. And now we move on to couple 24, the fascinating but odd pairing of Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen.
Flavor Flav, Foofy, William Drayton, Mr. F, let's get down!
I don't think you could find a more opposite couple, because she's so tall, he's short. Their cultural difference is how they speak.
I'm very friendly with Foofy.
On face value, it doesn't look like Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen have a lot in common, but let's think about it. They both had highly celebrated careers before. They've both been down, they've both been up. They've both had substance abuse problems.
Just a couple of days I'm out of rehab, I've started a new life.
When I went to rehab, they told me stay clean. Have you stayed clean? I'm clean.
They had the gift of sharing lessons with each other that will probably help them as they discover other relationships.
Our showmance couple number 23 gets a guaranteed stamp of approval. Lacey and Hawk dance their way into each other's hearts on the 3rd season of So You Think You Can Dance?
Just the fact that we're going to be able to dance on that massive stage in front of all those people.
Yeah, I mean, we're all really excited right now.
They absolutely love dancing. It's part of their hearts, it's part of their souls, and that allows their own romantic souls to be closer.
I think that shows where couples are dancing together or working together in such close unity, my advice would be if you really want to date each other, do it after the show.
It seems Lacey and Hawk agree with that advice. America didn't know about their budding showmance until after their season ended.
Lacey and Hawk did something right. They kept their showmance under wraps so that they could be protected from the limelight while they developed some bond together.
I'm Hawk.
And I'm Lacey. We're just like, wow, we're so happy to be here.
I think it's a mutual admiration that they have for each other, and that's very sexy. Just like power is very sexy. And when they get those 10s, it's like, oh my God, this is orgasmic.
From orgasmic to bombastic, the countdown continues. It's number 22, Wes and Johanna from the real world Austin. These two enjoyed their fair share of drinks, drama, and constant bickering.
When I see a couple that are constantly at odds with each other, I have to question how sustainable that is over time.
One of the ways that they communicate is to kind of argue and bicker together. This isn't always bad. May be difficult for the long run, but it's sure fun to watch.
And now on to couple number 21. They came to play on Big Brother 8, but Nick seemed more interested in a personal bond with Danielle than forming a strategic alliance.
In terms of my heart taking over my head, I would say yes, it definitely did. What I anticipated when I was going in was, in terms of the girls, I was going to try and flirt my way, around with most of them. And then I met Danielle, and things changed.
Nick was able at times to put the competition aside and put their relationship first. This shows me that the outcome of the show was less important to him. Something to watch.
It's romance, and you can take that one to the bank. Yeah.
Nick not only needed to win Danielle's heart, he had to deal with her dad. Evil Dick was also on the show, watching their every move.
I wasn't intimidated by Dick or anything like that. It was just the fact that I felt very emotional towards his daughter, and I just wanted him to know the truth and where I stood.
One of my favorite things about this whole experience was meeting Nick. I never thought I'd meet somebody who I, cared about so much in the house, so that's all I'll say.
Are they on or are they off? Time will only tell, but Nick and Danielle are definitely one of reality's hottest showmance couples.
It's good. It's good, yes, definitely good. I really like Nick a lot, and I think Nick's a great guy, and I heard he's moving to LA, so...
See that?
Please don't go away. We've got a lot more reality romance when our top 25 hottest reality showmances continues.
Coming up on the top 25 hottest reality showmances.
Nate and Jenny Lee are an example of opposites attracting.
From Beauty and the Geek to Dancing with the Stars, our countdown continues.
Shows like Dancing with the Stars, where two people are thrown together and they have to work together very closely, mentally, physically, emotionally, can create a bond, a very strong sexual bond, where they even fantasize about each other.
That's next, when we reveal the top 25 hottest reality showmances, a reality remix special edition.
Hey, welcome back to Reality Remix's look at the top 25 hottest reality showmances. Now, there is no doubt reality couples are hot, but what's even hotter is when reality TV gets some sweaty girl-on-girl action. The stars of Workout, Jackie Warner and Rebecca Carden, are reality TV's first bona fide gay showmance and are showmance number 20. But these buff babes are not your average pair of gym bunnies.
They're both very powerful women and successful and quite beautiful.
The hotness factor steaming up between these two is definitely through the roof.
People want to see attractive people, just wanting each other, desiring each other.
There are definitely people out there who get more turned on with people watching them, whether it's they're eating grapefruit or they're in bed doing other adventures.
But does working together prove to be the clincher for this training team?
Having a relationship with your boss is the kiss of death for any relationship. Jackie said that she is actually attracted to women who are a little plump. She had said that she didn't want to train it. I'm not sure it's going to last because of the power struggle.
Yeah, so we made out on national TV. Are you two still together? Well...
Coming in at number 19, the tale of Andrew Firestone and Jen Sheff has been a tempestuous one to follow. Jen first won Andrew's heart on the 3rd season of The Bachelor.
He is a very dynamic young man, very handsome and sexy and rich. And Jen is level-headed. She's smart, she's stable, she seemed like she knew what she was looking for. And when she met him, I believe she did fall in love with him, and I'm sure in lust with him.
Love and lust are definitely words thrown around on The Bachelor, but is too much of a good thing sometimes not enough?
Unfortunately, too many relationships, including very much on reality TV, are based on lust, and much less on really what will work overall for our hearts.
And that, it did not. Poor Andrew and Jen eventually split, but not without rumors that they were getting back together. Sadly, it never happened.
Andrew is now engaged to an actress, and I think that he feels more comfortable with somebody who likes to be in the limelight with him, who enjoys all the opulence that he has to offer.
Not every showmance ends on a bad note, and our couple coming in at number 18 is a prime example, Matt and Susie, who found true love on The Biggest Loser.
It was 2 weeks before we went home from the ranch that we actually went, "Oh, do you like me? I think I like you." Totally like junior hires.
While it may seem odd for a couple to find love on a reality show not about dating, there were some key factors that brought these two together.
When you have people that go through what in our society is a trauma, dealing with excess weight, and when you are thrown together with somebody who shares that and has gone through that type of fears and worries, it tends to unite you, and then there's more of a chance for romance developing.
This duo may have lost the weight, but they gained each other and are one showmance that has truly turned into a real-life romance.
We don't want to be stars. We just want to be married and happy and a family, and I think that's why, you can come to us in 20 years, you can come to us in 50 years, and I don't take marriage lightly, and he doesn't take marriage lightly. We know that this is forever, good, bad, ugly.
Oh, all those poor girls on The Bachelor. Who wants a rose when you can get a ring and lose 100 pounds? And now, what happens when dancers and stars secretly begin to fall for each other off the dance floor? Dancing their way to number 17 on our countdown, professional dancer Mark Ballas and actress Sabrina Bryan were paired together on Dancing with the Stars 5.
When I see a relationship, especially on reality TV, where they're actually keeping it a secret from everybody, I have to think that that's a more intimate relationship, because it's a relationship between the two of them, and they're not trying to basically play to the camera.
When you're close for 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, for a month and a half, 2 months, maybe even 3 months, people lose reality. They just think, okay, doing the Roomba together, oh, that suddenly I feel something inside. And every season there is 1 or 2 couples that happens, and sometimes they're trying to hide it, and then the camera happens to be there at the right time.
ABC's Dancing with the Stars proves that showmances can be formed on any type of reality show.
Sabrina and Mark are good examples of what happens when you throw people together in a competition. Very attractive people working together and literally sweating together. They generally can begin to develop an affinity despite all the pressures of the show.
At number 16, it's the Beauty and the Geek showmance between Nate Dern and Jenny Lee Burns.
I had established feelings for Nate probably the first second I saw him.
Nate and Jenny Lee are an example of opposites attracting. Just because you look at a couple and there's a physical difference between them or an educational difference between them, they can still work that out as long as they like to do the same things.
After Jenny Lee was eliminated from the show, Nate expressed his desire for her by jumping through a window to say goodbye.
Nate jumping out of a window shows that at the very least this guy has poor impulse control and maybe an anger management issue or some kind of passionate issue that's displaying itself in inappropriate behaviors. I'm sure this scared her off a bit.
But was this Beauty and the Geek showmance really love or infatuation?
What is the difference between love and infatuation? It's a gray area. And a lot of these shows start with chemistry. True love is unconditional. Now, how many people do you know who are truly in love in Hollywood?
As with most Hollywood romances, this showmance was short-lived because each live on opposite ends of the country.
Nate and Jenny are examples of what really happens with real life. When a couple meets on a show and they're right next to each other, all sorts of sparks can fly. Once they get separated, and especially if it's thousands of miles, reality sinks in.
They use long distance as the reason why they broke up, but I think it goes far deeper than that. Despite what Hollywood tells us, it's a pretty rarity in the human species for a beauty and a geek to really hook up and go the long haul.
Stick around, we got a lot more showmances to keep you hot. Our countdown continues after this.
Coming up on the top 25 hottest reality showmances.
It's just been months in the making, and I did not know how it was going to be received.
Where does America's player from Big Brother 8 rank?
Who knows what'll happen?
We do. Discover who ranks from 15 to 11. Next on the top 25 hottest reality showmances.
Welcome back to Reality Remix's look at the top 25 hottest reality showmances. Hitting the number 15 spot are two Big Brother alums who got cozy this past summer, Eric Stein and Jessica Hubanks. He was America's player, and Eric kept his secret all summer long, but boy, was he glad when it was finally over.
It's just been months in the making, and I did not know how it was going to be received. I still don't know how it was received. It was crazy. I'm glad the cat's out of the bag, and I can, start saying what's really going on here.
And at the finale, these two were planning the next phase of their relationship.
There's a girl named Jessica from Kansas who you were very flirtatious with, and she said, there possibly could be something outside of this. What is your true feelings? Was that gameplay or was it not gameplay? And I think I know the answer to that.
It was 100% not gameplay. It was the last thing I was looking for, but I found it. She's a great girl. She was my sanity in this house. She put a smile on my face every single time I saw her. And who knows what'll happen. She lives in Kansas, I live in New York, but everything that we spent was very true, very real, and she was amazing as a partner in crime throughout this experience.
Is there a relationship maybe beyond this game and outside of this television show?
I think there definitely is a relationship. He lives in New York and I live in Kansas, but I think we're going to try to work something out.
Yeah, I heard you saying that you wanted him to move to Kansas. Is he up for this? Is it something you might want to do?
Well, we joked about it a little bit, but I don't know if a big city boy can handle, little Kansas. We'll have to see.
Despite the distance, Jessica and Eric continue to keep their relationship alive.
This should serve as notice to any 5'7" Jewish kid from New York. If I can be with this girl, there's hope for all of us. Thank you, guys.
Number 14, a spot that goes to Keith Kuda and Tara Gerard from Paradise Hotel. These two kept their romance under the radar, but the viewers knew better.
Keith and Tara are an example of a couple that really is very similar, that really are allies together. And actually, I think that can be very wonderful.
Keith and I really wanted to win together. We wanted to experience that together.
It can be wonderful to really be thinking about the same thing, looking the same way, feeling comfortable with that, and seeing where you can build a life together.
In a very romantic move during the finale, Keith offered to split his $250,000 winnings with Tara. How gentlemanly is that? Survivor's very own Jeff Probst and longtime flame Julie Berry hit the list at number 13. Julie, the former Survivor Vanuatu contestant, didn't make it to the end, but her relationship has survived.
I think that they were disciplined enough not to do anything about the chemistry they had while they were working together. And that's probably because Jeff said, let's wait till after the show. And she, I'm sure, would have gone for it. We women are very emotional, we can't hold back. But I believe he was very smart, and he did the right thing. He waited, and good things are worth waiting for.
Oh man, game is on.
Even from the beginning, Jeff has remained tight-lipped about his romance and possible marriage to Julie. So you're not engaged?
No. Not that I wouldn't be.
Julie is a lovely girl.
Julie is my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I don't want to be engaged or married.
But you know how you can make sure no one else gets her? Marry her.
Yes. These are no-win questions. Julie and I are super happy.
I think that Jeff and Julie have a very good chance of making a successful relationship because he was genuinely looking and open for love. And she happened to be in the right place at the right time. And even though they haven't admitted it, I'm sure they had feelings and there was chemistry, sparks flying, and everybody knew that they had the hearts for each other.
Wes Wilson and Cher Tenbush hit the number 12 spot on our list. Take a look. On Beauty and the Geek, Cher met the geek of her dreams, Wes Wilson.
Wes took off his glasses and he was just being really sweet, so he stood out to me the first night.
She wasn't very pushy. I think that really helped a lot. She wasn't really like, oh, you have to commit everything and be perfect. And so she was cool. She was laid back, and it just felt right.
Relationships can evolve in various ways, and Wes and Cher are a great example that it isn't necessarily either you have the relationship or you don't. A relationship can be two people getting along together romantically, or they can move towards a friendship and still have a relationship. And that's something that can be very beautiful and cherished in the world along with romance.
These two prove that opposites do attract, and it's more than just what's outside that counts.
Wes and Cher are an example of the fact that people from very different lives can get along together. I think one of the important things for people to look at is what is their criteria in choosing people. The main thing is that there's something sweet and wonderful in that other person, and that you open yourself up to that. And I think a lot of people miss opportunities because they get too much into looks, and they forget that what really sustains a relationship is the heart and what happens within our brains. And that the looks are going to fade. If you ever have the ideal of a lifelong relationship, they're going to fade for certain. So learn that person's heart, and then you have a chance at true romance.
It's been said that it's amazing that you guys met on a reality show and you're still going strong.
I think so.
What do you think that keeps you guys together?
Fight often.
Yeah. That way you make up.
The number 11 spot goes to none other than New York and the man who proposed to her in the finale, Taylor Made.
I do not have to look for love anymore. I'm in love. I'm so looking forward to just building my life with this person.
Really?
Yes, this is insane how much we love each other.
Could you get married and all that stuff?
Oh boy. I like to believe that one day I will develop into that type of woman to be the marrying type.
When I look at New York and Taylor Made, I see that they're really working on finding love with each other. They have challenges in seeing that both of them can move towards the center with each other. Can she lessen her volatility, and can he speak up more about what his needs are? And all we can do is just wish them the best of delights, and they're really finding a great love that continues for themselves.
During the show, Taylor showered New York with extravagant gifts, and in the end, of course, his love turned out to be real. Please stay tuned. We've got more love, lust, and romance when our countdown of the top 25 hottest reality showmances continues.
Coming up on the top 25 hottest reality showmances, it's time to announce the top 10.
Good stuff.
Where will Jason and Lauren rank?
You know, I feel for Jason because although what we saw, we thought was love, you know, it wasn't really Jason in the room.
And what about Chris and Adrian?
We never kiss anymore.
Discover the secrets to the steamiest relationships in TV.
One of the great discoveries can be that they're really not right for each other.
When the top 25 hottest reality showmances continues.
Welcome back to our look at the top 25 hottest reality showmances where love sizzles and fizzles and sometimes even sticks. Let's review our list so far. Counting down from 25, they came in first and second on Big Brother All-Stars, the showmance of Mike Boogie and Erica Landon.
Oh God, I needed to get out Mike Boogie.
This odd couple, Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen, make the list at 24.
Right. Flavor Flav!
Waltzing in at number 23, Lacey and Hawk from Dancing with the Stars.
Wow, we're so happy to be here.
And from Real World Austin, Johanna and Wes bicker their way into our hearts and hit the list at number 22. Number 21, it's Nick and Danielle, who formed a romantic alliance on Big Brother 8.
In terms of my heart taking over my head, I would say yes, it definitely did.
Counting down, it's number 20, and the buff babes from Bravo's Workout, Jackie and Rebecca.
Showman. We made out on national TV.
Our choice for number 19, Jen Chef temporarily found her prince on The Bachelor. They may be a couple of big losers, but sweethearts Matt and Susie weigh in at number 18.
We know that this is forever. Good, bad, ugly.
Dancing with the Stars duo Mark Vallis and Sabrina Bryant Samba in at number 17. And celebrating a sweet number 16, it's Nate and Jenny Lee from Beauty and the Geek.
I had established feelings for Nate probably the first second I saw him.
Next up, number 15, a cozy couple from Big Brother 8, Eric and Jessica.
She put a smile on my face every single time I saw her.
Making the list at number 14, Keith and Tara found love on Paradise Hotel.
Smoochy, smoochy.
Survivor host Jeff Probst and his gal Julie Berry stroll in at lucky number 13.
Julie is my girl.
Showmance number 12 didn't play on the same team, but Wes and Cher found each other on Beauty and the Geek.
He was just being really sweet.
And finally, 11 is heaven for Taylor Made and his mischievous miss, New York.
I do not have to look for love anymore. I'm in love.
Well, that is a pretty powerful list. Showmance is featuring all the love, passion, sex, and romance a reality show could muster. But wait till you see our top 10. Topping the list at number 10, luscious Lauren Conrad and bad boy Jason Waller found love in Laguna Beach.
One of the most significant things we can ever experience in our lives is that another person comes into our orbit and they say, this person is special.
Despite warnings from friends that Jason was just another playboy, Lauren truly believed that what they shared was indeed special.
You know, there are lots of different kinds of playboys. For the most part, they tend to be men who are emotionally avoidant and a little bit afraid of intimacy. But they're still wired for sexuality, so biologically, they're ready to have a relationship, but psychologically, they're not.
Emotional immaturity plus living life in the limelight are two factors that can take out even the strongest bond.
Your relationship is not private. The world is going to comment on it, and there will be people in the world who are going to say awful things, and you have to be prepared to live with that.
When their fast and fun lives began to spin out of control, viewers were left to wonder, would their love last?
You know, I feel for Jason, because although what we saw, we thought was love, you know, it wasn't really Jason in the room. If it's true that he has an alcohol or drug addiction, you know, the first thing they tell you in AA is not to have a date for an entire calendar year, because these people have been using alcohol as a crutch to protect themselves from very tender feelings. And relationships always bring up those very tender feelings. So if he was involved in a relationship while he was drinking, it wasn't a relationship. It wasn't him there.
Speaking of drinking, here's a toast to couple number 9, Tila Tequila, and the man who took a shot at love and won her heart for a little bit.
After the show was over, I got the big news I won. Good stuff.
First of all, A Shot at Love broke great boundaries, and it was wonderful to see bisexuality portrayed on television. But, you know, I get upset when I hear people say, I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm gay, I'm straight. No, we're all bisexual, all right? It just depends what environment we're in. Ask any guy who goes to prison, okay? It's all about environment.
I know for guys, it's a lot harder, even when cameras aren't around, to open up to a girl, to talk to her about how you feel, to let her know that you care or that you respect her, or communicate with her. And I think that if you can do that, it teaches you something about yourself, you know?
Back out in the real world, it seems Tila's feelings for Bobby had become shaken, and he was not stirred.
She chose the testosterone here, but then she dumped it. I think this woman is a little into the celebrity of what's happened. I mean, isn't she the most famous bisexual ever?
Thought we were gonna have a relationship. Given the circumstances, we couldn't be seen with each other, obviously, because no one could know who the winner would be. That aside, we only got to talk on the phone a couple times, and, you know, my feelings started to fade away.
I think that a break after the show is wonderful because it helps them to really see, is this real?
So was this a reality relationship based on love, or was it a lust for fame?
I love Tila as a person. I never fell in love with her. And that's because I always kept a little bit of a wall up, and I'm kind of glad that I did, given the circumstances of what happened.
Even though people voice the fact I'm looking for true love, their behavior does not reflect their words. So she's back for another shot at love. Look at the title. It's a shot at love. It's not finding your true soulmate forever. It's a shot. Let's take this shot.
Sashaying in at number 8, Julianne Hough and Elio Castroneves were partnered on Dancing with the Stars.
That's good. We're in a good spot right now.
Their showmance bounced into the limelight while his wedding engagement was kicked to the shadows.
When you're competing together as a couple, usually you're strategizing. You're talking about what are we going to do to win this contest together. And that makes you a united force, and it tends to build a deeper sense of romance together.
When dancing, Julianne and Elio are obviously physically well matched, but do they have what it takes to sustain a real-life romance?
Hey, they're fine. I'm fine. I'm still having a lot of fun, and that's the point.
The best relationships I've ever seen had being good, warm friends who could really talk with each other at their core, as far as relationships that will really last.
We don't want to take the fun away and just make sure that it's still all there, and I think that we'll just be fine.
Oh, Julianne and Elio, they're sexy, they're steamy, they're absolutely dreamy, but will Cupid's arrow stick? The reality is, we just don't know, but when we find out, we will definitely let you know. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our next couple. Lucky couple number 7. He competed on Survivor Marquesas. She was on Survivor, the Australian Outback.
Rob and I met on Survivor All-Stars, where we made an alliance and ended up falling in love.
Amber won the All-Stars competition and the $1 million that went with it. Rob, who came in second, never took his eye off the prize and ended up proposing on live television.
He was so great out there. I mean, to get down on one knee in front of all those people, and he just spoke so eloquently. It was perfect.
This picture-perfect couple went on to compete on The Amazing Race, then The Amazing Race All-Stars, followed by their own reality show, Rob and Amber Against the Odds, on Fox Reality Channel.
Our entire relationship was basically on TV from start to finish.
Rumor has it Rob and Amber's marriage may be on the rocks. What are the odds this competitive couple will survive their reality relationship?
I personally think that reality romances are destined to fail.
When a person has been in each other's face continually under stress, they become aligned. Once you remove that stress and they're back in the real world, then they began to see the real person. And then bit by bit, they really learn, do they have something that can really be successful over time?
He's crowned, he's cool, and nobody's fool, while she's sassy, spirited, and ready for romance. Will these two ever find love? Coming in at number 6, Flavor Flav in New York, the couple that almost was. Twice.
Everlasting chemistry. Like, it was, we were in the moment. He saw me, I saw him. It was just odd.
Yeah.
I think New York doesn't even know what her ultimate goal is. I think she's a lost soul who doesn't love herself, but she enjoys the money and she enjoys the attention, and she's willing to do anything to get it.
You know, I can't deny it. I still have love for Flav. He's a wonderful man. He's my best friend.
Unable to keep the sparks ignited, she and Flav are forever friends. And since Flavor of Love, New York's spin-off show I Love New York has enjoyed 2 seasons, ending with a tailor-made engagement.
I think she chose tailor-made. I think she said it completely accurate when she said that she chose him. He was best for her lifestyle. You know, I think she's right.
I want someone that can keep up with my habits, and I love to party and have a great time.
New York may have found her prince. As for Flav, he's heading into season 3 on Flavor of Love. Will he find his Mrs. Flav? The third time may be the charm.
It's very important for us to learn if somebody is really right for us, because there's a cost for doing something, there's a cost for not doing it. So if we devote our time to one person and that person isn't right for us, we give up the opportunity of all the other people who could have come into our lives and made such a great difference.
Flavor Flav is ringmaster of his own circus, and he is trying to attract like for like. So he wants a circus clown, a circus type of woman who he thinks is going to complete him. He needs to find somebody the opposite of who he is, so that you have the yin and the yang.
We got a lot more of your favorite flavors of love and reality romances heading your way when our countdown of the top 25 hottest reality showmances continues.
Coming up on the top 25 hottest reality showmances.
Pretty much from the beginning to the end, it was a disaster.
From disasters to dreams, we get an eyeful of the sexiest couples in reality as our countdown turns up the heat with the top 5.
It's a hard walk to be the lover of a celebrity because their needs are going to come first.
Who will be first? Find out later when the top 25 hottest reality showmances, a reality remix special edition, continues.
Welcome back to Reality Remix's look at the top 25 hottest reality showmances. Lots of girls are suckers for millionaires. They're usually called gold diggers, but what happens when they find themselves vying for a fake? Although our next pair, Evan Marriott and Zora Andrich, met on the romantic dating show Joe Millionaire, they quickly went from high to low faster than you can say poorhouse, making them our showman's number 5.
The second best kisser I would probably have to say was Zora, because it was so damn hard to get her to do it.
In the case of Joe Millionaire, the millionaire really wasn't a millionaire.
I was relieved. I was like, that's great. Since the whole money thing, if it was true, had made me uncomfortable.
Sometimes with the shows, there's too much of an emphasis on money, and that ultimately can undermine any relationship.
And when love is on the line and the fantasy comes crumbling down, sometimes the truth can hurt.
When you deal with a misleading situation such as Evan and Zora dealt with, often it can be quite a blow to have the truth revealed.
Pretty much from the beginning to the end, it was a disaster.
She was creating a schema in her head of who this guy was, and now she's found out he's not that.
And sometimes fantasy can be a lot more harmful than glamorous.
I do think the scenarios that these couples are put into is completely unrealistic, a total fantasy, and that's why there's so much disappointment, so much heartache.
I think it was just more relief than anything else to have everything over with.
Is it possible to find a little lovin' in the arms of a real TV star? Our showman's number 4 seems to tap to that beat.
With Mario and Karina, we're dealing with a celebrity and somewhat of a civilian. I mean, she has a dancing background, but really he's the star in this one.
So what is it about Dancing with the Stars that brought together yet another hot couple?
Hey, learning how to dance together, you're really showing your vulnerabilities. You're showing your mistakes. You're getting real with that person as you're falling and literally stepping on their toes. So often that can be construed as romance, or sometimes it could be real romance.
This was the best experience in my life, the best 4 months. I think you're an amazing dancer, amazing man, amazing person.
The showmance may have been forged on the dance floor, but it will take some effort by Karina to keep her TV star close by.
Well, one thing I know about Mario is that guy is cute and he is charismatic, and he's living in a celebrated world of no-nos. That means if somebody has poor impulse control, living in the celebrity world of too many choices is a danger zone. It's a hard walk to be the lover of a celebrity because their needs are going to come first.
Well, it may be a challenge to keep a Hollywood star happy, but our next couple have figured out what it takes to keep it real. Our next showmance couple is considered to be one of the most successful relationships produced by television. Coming in at number 3, it's Trista Rehn and Ryan Sutter from ABC's The Bachelorette.
Trista and Ryan are the role models for the romantic couple TV shows. They are the best and probably the most successful of all couples that I've ever seen on TV. They truly seem to love and care for each other.
Trista selected Ryan as her soulmate on the first season of The Bachelorette. The two married on national television in December of 2003. Trista and Ryan reside in Eagle County, Colorado, where Ryan works as a firefighter. Their first child, Maxwell Sutter, was born on July 26, 2007.
Trista and Ryan are this wonderful example of love. This is so great to see within reality TV, and it really shows that two people can get together and care so much about their hearts that they really move away from the media because their romance is more important than being seen out there in life.
Stay tuned, our number 1 reality television showmance is coming up. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the top 25 hottest reality showmances.
If you got a fast-paced single life and your friends are part of that fast-paced single life, you may think that your friends are supporting your couplehood, but they're not. They're envious, and they're going to do what they can to break it up.
We're breaking down to the final 2. Who will be number 1? Find out next when the top 25 hottest reality showmances returns.
Welcome back. Our countdown of the top 25 hottest reality showmances is down to the final 2. But first, before we reveal our number 1 couple and the runner-up, here's one last look counting down from the top 10. Counting down from 10 from Laguna Beach, a perfectly privileged pair, Lauren Conrad and Jason Waller, party on. And number 9 features the spirited Tila Tequila and her showmance boy toy, Bobby Banhart.
Good stuff.
These 2 won perfect scores on and off the dance floor. Coming in at number 8, Julianne Hough and Elio Castroneves. They're one of reality TV's most controversial couples. Rob and Amber are ranked at number 7, and 6th on the list is none other than New York and her fave, Flavor Flav.
He saw me, I saw him. It was just odd.
Number 5 takes us way back to Joe Millionaire and the pairing of Evan Marriott and Zora Andrich. Fast forward to number 4, and you've got celebrated star Mario Lopez dancing and romancing Karina Smirnoff. And the 2 that took 3rd from The Bachelorette, true lovebirds, Trista and Ryan Sutter. Our countdown is never complete without these Hollywood hotties. The Hills stars Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt come in at number 2. The two became a couple on the hit show The Hills. They moved in together, got engaged, and then got unengaged. One thing's for certain, these two are fun to watch.
They're going to really have to see beyond that show how much they can really get along with each other when they're not being given direction about the situations and issues they get into.
Heidi and Spencer's showmance has wreaked havoc on their friendships.
They allowed their friends to separate a bit so that they could cocoon. Something that's very important. If you got a fast-paced single life and your friends are part of that fast-paced single life, you may think that your friends are supporting your couplehood, but they're not. They're envious, and they're going to do what they can to break it up.
With their celebrity status skyrocketing and all eyes on Heidi and Spencer, we will see if these two can stand the test of time.
You could guess that maybe this is the two of them with a common goal, building a business together in the entertainment industry. The problem is that the entertainment industry is all about competition. And what if one producer wants one and not the other? This could be a dangerous walk for them.
Finally, it's the moment we have all been waiting for. The #1 reality showmance is in. And of course, it belongs to Christopher Knight and Adrian Curry.
We're only the biggest couple because all the other ones broke up.
Ever since their romance on VH1's The Surreal Life, Chris and Adrian have become reality royalty. They've parlayed their showmance into a record 4 separate series. But how do they do it?
The way we've been able to stay together is I actually would cry and beg for him not to leave every week when he threatens to leave me since we've met.
The couple's brutal honesty and total disregard for the cameras have made them uniquely relatable.
This is us. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me what other people think of us. I mean, I can understand because of the unique situation that we were forged in.
No matter how brutal, the constant jabs and arguments are always met with a happy kiss and make-up ending.
We actually really like each other somewhere deep in there.
Yeah, we just have a hard time finding that.
Transitioning from showmance into full-fledged married couple makes Christopher Knight and Adrian Curry our #1 reality showmance.
We never kiss anymore. We're married. We never either.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, there you have it, folks, our top 25 showmances, and the list keeps growing and growing. And who knows, maybe you will be on our next top 25. I hear Flavor Flav's available. Sexy. Remember, you can't escape reality. Oh, Flav.
To watch today's show all over again, go to foxreality.com.